I'm going to be attempting to order all of the islands into a tier list. A lot goes into the My Singing Monsters islands, whether it's from the songs, the monsters, so I think there's going to be a lot of features today to compile together, and essentially we're attempting to rank every single main component behind the game overall. So overall, this is going to be a kind of review thing as well, so I am quite excited to do this. Before we go into our island review though, we've got to talk about the browser which I am using right now, Opera GX. Opera GX is a special version of the Opera browser, and it's specifically made for gamers. It's available on mobile too, and it can be linked to your desktop so that you can navigate with ease across both. You can use it to browse on all the socials like Instagram, Messenger, TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Discord, all from your sidebar, making it really easy to get notifications too, and check out what's going on your social. The GX player lets you play music simultaneously from the browser too, and whenever you watch videos or music from inside of the browser, it automatically stops and plays the music that you are listening to. I'm using Apple Music here, but you can also use Spotify and YouTube Music to browse music too with. Opera GX's design is inspired by neon lights. Here we can see all of the different customizable options that you have. I'm a really big fan of the classic theme, and you can also set your wallpaper down here. A top feature which I really like behind Opera is that you can set your desktop wallpaper for the default background, which is an absolute must for me, as I'm always changing my background, and that makes it a lot easier. You can also play the top 3 games that they have selected for you too inside of the GX Games section in the GX corner, and see all of the upcoming releases behind games, and you can navigate through each and get the latest deals too, as down here you can also check out the latest deals that are happening. You can download Opera GX today by going into the description down below or by using the QR code on screen right now. Back to our hardest mission yet on the channel, ordering the islands in order of what I would put them in. I think I'm going to go ahead and nickname the different tier lists here and call this Colossal God, because that's S tier there. Supreme Catalyst, because Catalyst can make some pretty cool stuff. Not colossal level, and then we'll go with Edgy Enterbrat. Because it's just like the okay, we'll go with the okay level here. And this is where we're falling off a bit, so we're falling from the islands here, and then this is just where we won't put trash cans a bit harsh, but we'll put could be a lot better, and then we'll put here, I don't like this. If anything makes it there, I think we've got a job on there. Right, so Colossal God, I think we're definitely going to have to go ahead and put Bone Island here. Bone Island, to me, its song never gets old, and the cast of monsters is one of my favourite castings. That absolutely has to go in the top list, especially thinking back to its original release and how much of a big surprise it was at the time, and just all of the magicals really being a huge surprise when each one released. I've got to put that in Colossal God tier. Oh, the Supreme Catalyst one. Oh, I don't want to put anything in the I don't like this section. I'm scared to do that, but I know it's gonna happen. We've got to go with the flow. And while we're talking about the flow, we're gonna put Water Island in. You know, I really like Water Island's song though. The Birdos really made it a lot better, and I feel like when the Mythical comes along, Water Island is gonna get a really big boost. So I'm actually gonna put it in... I'm tied between these two marks, but I'm gonna put it in Edgy Enterbrat. I feel like Water Island is okay. I really love the song overall, but if we're talking about where it sits amongst the different islands, I've got to place it there, as My Singing Monsters has such good islands. I think if I don't put it there, no one's going to end up in the bottom section. So I'm going to be quite critical, I think, in this. For Earth Island, I think I would actually place it in the Supreme Catalyst area. I feel like some people would put it up here, as I do understand that the Earth Island song is beloved, and in fact, probably the most beloved out of all of the natural islands. But to me, the song doesn't really stick in my head as much as what Bone Island does, for example, so I'm gonna put it there. But definitely a really cool song, Earth Island. Just wish it could be a little longer. Maybe if that Mythical comes along, we could get a bit of an extension. That would be a really cool idea. We've even got Composer Island here. Composer Island is one which is a bit of a hit and miss, because I can't really judge myself because I don't know how to make songs, but I can absolutely put it in the list here and just go, I'm not really sure about this. I'm not sure we'll have a section for because I don't feel like I can rate it when I'm not a composer. I feel like the composer app is a lot better from the features which I've seen and what I know very little about music composition. I'm gonna say that it's probably about edgy Enterbrat level, but honestly, who knows? Then for Celestial Island, I feel like the mechanics behind Celestial Island let Celestial Island down a lot, as it's a very hard island. However, now I'm looking at Amber Island and I'm like, okay, I'm not really sure whether I could go into that territory, but Celestial Island is very hard to put together, and it's definitely one of those endgame islands, and especially those single elementals that you have to put into it. It's such a bummer that you have to do that. I don't really understand why they chose to put that many single elementals in. It's obvious you're gonna have to sit there for ages and just wait for them. Whatever, I'm just gonna rank it based on the song, and no, actually I'm not gonna rank it just based on the song because I feel like that's unfair. I feel like in comparison to Starhenge, it just doesn't really fit the vibe for me, and that's why I'm gonna actually put it in edgy Enterbrat level. I feel like Celestial Island, for the Celestials, it would have been cool to perhaps just leave them in Dawn of Fire, because Dawn of Fire has everything in My Singing Monsters now, and if we were to leave one thing in Dawn of Fire, I would have chosen the Celestials. Even though it's really cool to have them in present day, it's always felt a bit off to me that they were here, and as though that might have been something for Dawn of Fire, and just with the single elementals and their overall mechanics, I've got to place it there, but just based on the song overall, I think we might go Supreme Catalyst, but it's the mechanics that bring it down for Celestial. Then with Ethereal Island is absolutely Supreme Catalyst level. Let me explain. The Ethereals, there's so much lore behind this and such a diverse cast, and not just that, the song is so cool and astral, it's got to go in that Supreme Catalyst level. And for Mythical Island, seeing as over on about Catalyst, we'll place Mythical Island, even though it's very incomplete at the moment. We have 6 monsters left. I do feel like we can rank it as the song is. I feel like I would want to put Mythical Island here. However, I do understand that the song is a bit mishmashy at the moment, and there's lots of verses and intertwinements that don't really connect with one another, and I am a bit concerned where the song is going to go, even though I love it immense amounts, and it's my favourite island that is releasing at the moment. I would put it in one of these two right here, but just based on the song not being complete right now, I feel like it could end up here. It just depends what the monsters are going to do. I have no doubt they're going to be cool, but I'm not really sure on that one. Magical Sanctum. Absolutely colossal god tier. My god, Magical Sanctum is one of those that never gets old again. It's one of my favourites, and that huge diverse cast of monsters on it, again, just makes it an hit island song, and I absolutely love it to death. Enchanting, when it came along, was one of the biggest surprises ever to me in My Singing Monsters, so it absolutely has to go at that top tier level. The island changing at the end of an island's release schedule was such a good idea, and it has to go there. Seasonal Shanty. Oh no, now we're approaching the end section. Right. You see, the My Singing Monsters OST for Seasonal Shanty, if we have a look, I couldn't believe this. This OST is great. In fact, it's much better than the original Island song. But I don't really understand how that happened. Seasonal Shanty has an amazing cast of monsters. It's nothing to do with the cast of monsters, it's just literally the song for me. I feel like Seasonal Shanty, though, had a lot against it from the beginning, because there was all of these vocalists on the island itself. If it was to happen, as literally every single seasonal up to that point had been a vocalist, so there was so much going against it, as there would need to be so many instruments at the same time, and honestly I just feel like the song didn't hit the mark for me in terms of like My Singing Monsters level quality that we've come to expect from islands in the past, so therefore I would place it there. However, just based on the cast of monsters alone, I would place it here. It's definitely the song that lets it down for Seasonal Shanty, I think. Tribal Island is okay, but at the same time, it's mechanics. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of input on friends, and there's not really a way around the friends mark, and I do understand that people sometimes do find it hard to find a tribe, and this is a complaint that I see time and time again. Also, I feel like the mechanics could have been integrated a lot better, and there's so much mechanics that need to be improved with tribal, to the point where it's making me feel like it could be a lot better. But at the same time, the song is like here, so I'm gonna place it in the middle of them. The Tribal Island song was definitely made by Kana, but at this point too, I feel like Tribal Islands almost had something took away with that, because Kana is on so many islands at this point now, where it just takes away that specialness behind Tribal Island and unlocking Kana. Even though Kana is very important in the lore, people don't know that when they're playing the game. I feel like that has also took a little bit of a mark away from Tribal, but overall, the song is good, it's okay, but I don't agree with the mechanics, and I feel like it needs a lot of improvement. Shugabush, shall we go with next? Shugabush, I really like Shugabush. I think I'm going to play Shugabush in Supreme Callous, and I feel like I'm going to surprise a lot of people with that, but allow me to explain. Shugabush Island is a collaboration between Christian Bush and My Singing Monsters, and it's a collaboration we've never seen really again, and just at the time, all of these new monsters coming at once, I feel like was a really big deal for the game. Although Shugabush Island isn't the most popular one, I personally think that the song is one of those that has stuck in my head for a really long time, and as someone who's been listening to these for almost 10 years, well in fact 10 years now, pretty much in 2 months time, I can say with genuinity that that island song has been stuck in my head and doesn't ever seem to get old even after all of these years. So I feel like it deserves something for that. Just because of how lowly rated it is, it's a really good island and there's good designs on it, even though the Sugar Fam are very similar in terms of design. Right, so let's go with Firehaven next. The remark of the Fire Elementals. Firehaven definitely goes in the okay level. Firehaven represents a lot with the Fire Elementals return, but the song, I feel like, isn't one of the best in the franchise. It's kind of like an okay song. It's really good. I love all of the islands here. I'm finding this really hard to put my opinions across because I love the islands so much, but I would absolutely put Firehaven there. Then Fire Oasis, I would actually put Falling From the Islands Fire Oasis. Trouble when they came along, I did not like their integration into the song, and them combined with Gobblegod now has made it go from probably here to down here now, because I just feel like those make the song a little bit of a miss for me now. Wublin Island, absolutely colossal god tier. There is no question. If you make a My Singing Monsters Island tier list and you do not put Wublin Island as top tier level, I don't know if you're a My Singing Monsters fan, my love. This island has the most unique casting in the game, and it really does go on par with Sanctum, and it in fact actually goes beyond that, the casting, because the designs are absolutely spectacular. The fact that it brought a new mechanic along at the time was absolutely amazing. The tying to Wubox, and then making them, and then them coming later on down the line, it's just a flawless island, and the song is amazing. Probably went a bit too far adding those extra Wublins, because those were unplanned, I believe, after Scargo, wasn't it? So I would have liked to have perhaps not had the extras, maybe, but I also really like the extras, and I couldn't see Wublin Island without those. So even though I feel like the song would be better without those, I don't want them to go. So please, that's just a remark which I have to include, but also don't get rid of them. Thanks. Light Island. Light Island, I feel like I had a lot to say about Light Island, which is quite surprising because I put Seasonal Shanty down here, but I didn't quite say a lot about that. I definitely was thinking it at the time. I just didn't say it in my reactions as I was so bewildered by the amazingness of the new seasonals which we were discovering. But looking back on it now, I don't think Light Island deserved as much hate as what it did, and I actually think Light Island is okay. Light Island doesn't have the best song. It's certainly one that could have been better in comparison to the rest of the Magical Islands. I mean, even if we're gonna go ahead and put Fairy in right now, I would go ahead and put Fairy in Supreme Callous level, and Psychic there as well. We've placed a lot of islands there, but the Magical Islands are all each so good, so getting to see them end was definitely a very sad moment, I think, for sure. I really was a huge fan of the Fairy Island song, specifically when Hippity Hop and Canterell sing. That is my favourite bit inside of Fairy, and the unique castings once again on the Magical Islands just really formulate those islands up and make them really special. That's why I'm a really big fan of those. For Psychic, I think that the Psychic song is okay. I think at the time though, it was such a big revelation getting these new monsters as we'd not had any in years, so it definitely makes sense placing it here, as it meant a lot, but I think the song is probably here, though. I'm placing it there for the unique casting and just My Singing Monsters being revived, basically, at that time. If it was apart from that, I probably would place it there. Psyche probably has the least best designs out of the Magicals now, looking back upon it, in my opinion, as I think the Magical designs and overall the monster designs have improved immensely over time, which is to be expected as we've been getting so many new monsters and they've been improving the design team. Planet Island, I'm gonna place it in Supreme Catalyst level. Planet Island song never gets old, and it's one of those where I'm like, no island song can replace Planet Island. Planet Island has been there from the beginning, and honestly, you can have no beginning song besides Planet Island. Cold. Stromboning made Cold Island a lot better. I would have originally placed Cold Island here. I don't like the Cold Island Wordos, and for the life of me, I can't understand why people have decided out of any Wordo to make the Cold Island ones the meme and the popular ones. Anyway, I don't really like them. I think Talker's off key on the island, and I think Magpie could be a lot better, and honestly, I was worried when Magpie was coming onto water, but they improved a lot over time, and so did Talker. I'm gonna place it here. I feel like Stromboning really helped the island out, and now I can listen to it, but before Stromboning, I was honestly like, no, I don't like this island really, and I would have placed it here. So it just comes to show how much of an effect monsters can have, like Shrubble and Stromboning. I think Shrubble definitely had the reverse effect to Stromboning, but I am very happy that Cold Island has been, in a sense, revived to me at this point. Gold Island, I'm gonna place... I am very opinionated on Gold Island, I think. And I think I might shock you with Gold. Even though Gold Island is really cool and I love the mechanics, it's also very sad to me to hear the monsters almost like crying out, trying to say, this is the game ending. We don't like that. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in the falling from the island section. It could honestly be better some of the ways that things are put on the island, especially for endgame players when you're scrolling along that list. The mechanics need to be improved for some of these things, man, for in the falling from island section, okay? Right, Amber Island, oh no, oh no. We're approaching the bottom of the sections here now. Do I or don't I? I don't want to put it in there, I don't like this section, but at the same time the song, oh, I don't know. The song is such a mess. It's not even finished, I feel like I'm doing it a disservice. It's not fair to put it in the I don't like this section. Oh, but I do like it. When I say I don't like it, by the way, I do really like these islands. It's just in comparison to the rest, okay? Okay, I'm putting it in there. It's not finished, but at the same time, there's so many bits in the song where it's blank. Also, I feel like this is a comment where people say time and time again, but it's so true. They keep bringing out monster after monster, Wallaby, Rooted, Snizer. They just keep bringing out all of these absolute whopping monsters, and Candelabra especially. That was an amazing one, which could have added so much to the island going from Dawn of Fire, but they keep integrating them, and it's like they miss it every time, and they're like coming along this conveyor belt, all of the monsters, and they're choosing which ones they want, but as this conveyor belt's going along, they're not choosing any, so I don't really think that there's much to be longed for inside of Amber Island. I love the way that the mechanics have been integrated, but I'm not really a fan of just the overall vibe of it, and also the rares and epics having to get the multiple monsters. Even though I love the mechanics at the same time, that is quite a chore. You've got to keep that in mind, even though I love the way that the mechanics went. Air Island for me. I love Air Island so much. I'm gonna put it in... I would put it here, but then again, I'm gonna put it in edgy Entibrat level. I love Air Island to death. It's definitely one of those that I listen to the most out of here, but the rest I feel in this above tier have that kind of epic vibe to them that's it's just missing from the Air Island song, and I can't point out why, but I feel like the direction of the other islands went in a much more better way, and this one wasn't. And for the Colossingum, you guys know where I'm putting the Colossingum. You guys know I do not like this Yes, I do not like it when the original reaction to me reacting to the Colossingum is now privated and you will never see it. But let me tell you guys, I wasn't happy when I saw the Colossingum. I feel like the Colossingum just goes against what My Singing Monsters was, and I was very happy that I did end up giving it a try. But overall, the Colossingum just doesn't fit the My Singing Monsters vibe, and I really don't like it. Or going on that island. Okay, so I'm quite happy with this list that we've got here, but I think we need to make a few adjustments. First of all, I think I'm gonna go ahead and move Mythical Island to Colossal God tier. I've had a bit of a gander about it while I've been putting all of the rest of the islands in, and I think even though Mythical Island is not complete, and therefore I think it's really hard to form an opinion around it just based on what we have right now, I'm listening to it just as much as Bone Island, so I think I'm gonna place that one there. And for the seasonal shanty, I don't think it deserves to be in the I don't like this section, and I do listen to the song on occasion like cold. I think it should just be in the could be a lot better section, because Fiddle's verse does make the song really cool, and I think therefore putting it down here doesn't really do the song justice, even though I feel like it could be a lot better. Actually, now I'm looking at it too, I think Light Island does not deserve to be up here. I think it definitely got a lot of hate from me. I do think that it didn't perhaps deserve it quite as much, especially compared to the Amber Island song, so I think we should still keep that in mind, but we should also bring that down a little bit to the could be a lot better section. The song, I just don't think it matches up to the rest of the islands for me, so I've got to bring it down a little bit, I think. Make sure to leave your tier lists down below too, as I'd love to check out you guys' opinions. Now though, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and to subscribe too, guys. I will see you guys later. I'm sorry for however long this video might have lasted for. I know I've been talking a really long time, so I don't know how long it is. I think it's been really long. Anyway though guys, I will see you later for now. Bye guys.